So here I am on leancanvas.com. I've got my canvas here, so let's get started. Number one, list our top 3 problems. So one of the nice things that this app has some help. So if I want to know what goes in this bucket, I click on the little help. Identify your customers' must-have problems and how they address them today. And then there's also some great examples in here. So the canvas for this app, Lean Canvas, says the problems they have: business models need to be more portable, measuring progress is hard work, communicating, learning is critical. So if we want to take these same sort of problems and apply them to Bounce, what would that look like? I'm kind of cheating here because I filled this out before I knew I was going to record it. So I actually started with being late is the problem. But when I really started thinking about it, I realized like being late in and of itself isn't a problem. Like, who cares if you're late? Like, what if we were in a culture where it didn't matter if you were on time? So being late itself isn't a problem. The problem is being late is stressful. So if I care about the relationships I'm building with people or trying to maintain, I don't want them to think I don't respect their time. So I stress out if I'm being late, or I stress out if I'm late for the airport. I think I'm going to miss an experience. So that's kind of where I'm hypothesizing my problem is right now, that being late is stressful and unpleasant. I've also heard from a couple people that they want to be able to communicate their ETA, their real arrival time, in a safe way. And by that I mean both safe from a physical standpoint, they don't want to text while driving, but also safe in a, I don't want to be embarrassed by saying I'm late. So is there a way that we can communicate that in a safe way? So let's just leave that as it is right now. Okay, existing alternatives. So you could just know how long it's going to take to get to where you're going based on traffic or whatnot. You could manually look it up, look up traffic and travel time for every meeting. You could use some competitive apps that are out there that solve some of these problems. That's spelled wrong. Yeah, so that's kind of our existing alternatives. Okay, great. So customer segments. This I've already talked about a bit on the blog, so I'm just gonna kind of jam these in here. So we got business, travelers. All right. So early adopters. So we're gonna list the characteristics of our ideal customer. Well, they've got ideally lots of business meetings outside their office. Obviously, we have other customer segments who daters. They don't have business meetings, but we're talking about our ideal customers right now. They have to own an iPhone. Yeah, we're going to build the app for smartphones, but ideally iPhone users, because they pay for more stuff. Speaking of which, it's someone who buys apps, and they use the calendar on their phone. All right, number 3, unique value proposition. So this is our punchline: single, clear, compelling message that turns unaware visitor into a prospect. So this one, the pitch that resonates most with the people that I talk with so far is makes being on time easy. So we'll put this in there and we'll kind of see how that plays out. All right, so the high level concept. I'm not quite solid on how this interrelates to the canvas, but I think what it's kind of thinking is, if this is our value proposition, our high-level implementation of that, what does that look like? So I'm going to say it's a personal meeting manager. He manages the meetings for me personally. That's what we're doing at a high level. All right. The solution. So how exactly are we going to solve each of these problems? So it's a mobile app that notifies users when to leave for their next calendar appointment. And how are we going to solve that? So that solves the being late is stressful. How do we solve the communicate ETA in a safe way? So make it easy to SMS or email ETA quickly, safely. Okay. Great. So now let's go on to our channels. So this is the path to our customers. So for kind of these segments, how are we going to talk to each of them? And a lot of them are sort of similar. We're going to go, use blogs to go out and get the word out. So these are going to be blogs, but these are going to be specific blogs for each segment. Okay, we're going to do some press for the general campaign. We're also going to do Kickstarter. Is going to help us raise some awareness. We're going to try and get some in-app referrals. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, that's the idea. When should people share? Oops. Sharing current ETA. When someone shares their current ETA with someone else, we will probably include like a link or something to bounce. ETA footer, we'll call it. And I don't know, maybe we're gonna have some partnerships with other apps. So maybe Uber if you missed your bus but you want a cab. Maybe we do something with Evernote because we're around meetings and people want to take notes. We want to target maybe TripIt because business travelers. I don't know. We'll put these down here and gotta see what comes of it. Okay, so number 6, revenue stream. So how are we gonna make some money? Well, I guess some guesses right now. So we're gonna try and raise some money from Kickstarter. That's not really recurring revenue. That's just to test the market. But eventually, we want to do. I'm thinking, maybe somewhere in the range of $99 to $1.99 per month subscription. Or maybe somewhere in the range of $6.99 to $9.99 outright. Cost structure, well, we're going to have some servers to pay for. I don't really know the numbers on that. We're going to have to pay for some data. So that's going to be traffic data, location data, maybe storing that. Storage, maybe. And then we're going to have development. Initial and development ongoing. Alright, I don't know the numbers there, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Key metrics. Alright, so these are metrics that we really care about. Out of all the metrics we could possibly care about, what do we really want? Well, we want recurring revenue from subscriptions increasing monthly. So we'll be making more money every month from recurring revenue. I don't know what the exact numbers are. We want referrals to be up and to the right, and let's say low uninstall rates. Alright, we'll start with there, and then unfair advantage. This one's kind of tough. Like, what do we have as an app that no one else has? Really, the only thing that I think that gives us a leg up is exposure at this point, just because. Well, we're doing this blog. We're gonna do a Kickstarter campaign. We're gonna do a lot of stuff, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. Take it or leave it. I'm not particularly sure we have an unfair advantage at this point. Alright, so there is our lean canvas, our first crack at it. We will come back here and do some experiments, but feel free to follow along and we can all learn how to use this thing together.